Hello everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how we can upload file with beautiful UI into the ImageKit, and also how we can add image overlay over image, and also I'm going to show you how we can add text overlay to the image and also into the video as well. So let me show you. The first is how we can upload that. So here, as you can see, I'm going to upload, for example, maybe this image right here. Click open and then click upload file. As you can see, we have this beautiful loading right here, and everything should be great. As you can see, the image is just rendered right here. And also, I want to show you how you can add overlay image over image. So for example, this one right here, as you can see, we have ImageKit.io on the top left right here. That's beautiful. This is basically image over image. And also, I show you how you can add text over image as well. So as you can see, this is basically the example how we can add text overlay on image. We can put a background, we can change the color, and etc. So not only on the image, we can put an overlay on video. As you can see on this video, I put the ImageKit.io icon on the top right here. And as you can see, the video still works and the watermark is right here. That's beautiful. And also I can put text overlay as well in this video. So we are going to cover everything in this video. Hope you learn a lot of things. So let's get started. So first we need to generate a brand new Next.js application. I'm going to call that ImageKit overlay. Hit enter. Of course, I'm going to process that. And we have some question in here. TypeScript, yes. ESLint, yes. Tailwind CSS, yes. Source directory, I'm going to say no. App router, yes. Turbo pack, just say yes. And import alias, I'm going to say no. So now let's cd to the ImageKit overlay folders. And from here, I'm going to open inside Visual Studio Code. Alright, so now let's go to the ImageKit.io, and then in here I can go to my dashboard. If you don't have account, just sign up, and sign in is really easy. I just sign in with my Google account, and here we go. I on the dashboard right now. So the first thing that we need to see is basically this integration right here, because we are going to use Next.js. I'm going to click this Next.js right here. It will open the documentation. Great. So basically we need to use let me go to developer options, and then this is basically that we need to store on environment variable, which is the public key, private key, and also the URL endpoint. So let's go to the VS Code, and in here I'm going to create a file called .env, just like that. So basically I'm going to create 3 environment variables. As you can see, the first is next public ImageKit URL endpoint. So I use next public because this environment variable, which can be available to the client and also to the server. If I not put next public in the front of the environment variable name, it is available on the server. That means this should be secure. So let's put the value. For the ImageKit URL endpoint, I'm going to use this one right here. Just copy that and just paste that right here. And also for the public key, I'm going to use this one right here. Copy that. Paste that right here. And for the private key, just click this right here, because I'm not set up my password. It's asking me to set up my password first before I using that private key. So let's set up password right here, and I just want to use suggest strong password from the Google Chrome. Submit that, and I'm gonna update the password. Here we go. So let's try to go back to the developer options, and then now I can click this one. Okay, just send this password, and here we go. All right, so now let's click this private key copy icon, and then now let's go back and then just paste that like so. Here we go. So we already set up all the environment variable that we need. The next thing is let's try to install the ImageKit/next package. So because I want to use npm, so I'm going to copy this one right here, copy that, and open a terminal. And then in here, I just want to paste the npm install add ImageKit/next. All right, it's done. So now let's try to do npm run dev to run the localhost 3000. And then I just want to try to render the image and also the video into the browser. So let's see right here. As you can see, this is basically the default template of Next.js. I just want to remove everything. So let's do page.tsx and go to this div right here. I just want to remove everything. Just render a simple main tag right now. Great. So now let's try to see how we can render image and video using that ImageKit component. Because in here, as you can see on the dashboard, slash media library, basically we have two files by default, which is video and also image. So let's try to render that file on the browser. Here I can go back to the documentation here. So let's try to see how we can render image. So I'm going to click this one right here, image component. So basically we can use this component, image component from the ImageKit slash next. So the way we do that is pretty simple. I just want to copy this image and paste that inside the image main tag, right? Just make sure we import the image from ImageKit slash next. And then the URL endpoint, it should be come from this environment variable, which is next public ImageKit URL endpoint. I'm gonna copy that name and then just put that on here, right? So I'm gonna say process.env dot next public ImageKit URL endpoint. For the source, which is the name of the file, I'm going to copy the name of the file and then go back right here, just paste that just like this, and let's take a look. I hope the image is rendered. Here we go. That means this is successful. So now let's try to render a video. I'm going to go back to documentation and then let's see this video component, and we can use this video component from the ImageKit slash next. I'm going to copy that video and then go back here. I'm going to use break tag and then put the video. Just make sure we import that from the ImageKit. And then for the URL endpoint, it should be same. I'm going to copy this one and paste that. Right, for the name of the file, it should be sample-video. I'm going to change this one, sample-video. Save that and let's take a look. As you can see, the video will render on the browser. That's pretty cool. Of course, you can play that like this. So now let's try to learn how we can upload a file, because now we don't have any button in this app. But of course, you always can upload a file from this dashboard of ImageKit. You can just click this new, you can file upload right here. You can just find whatever your file, just click upload and your file will appear on this dashboard right here. But I like to, we have button upload on this app right here. So let's try to see how we can do that. So here on the documentation, as you can see on the right side, we have this upload files link. So I'm going to click that. And as you can see, I'm going to scroll it down a little bit. The documentation is really easy to follow. You can just copy and paste basically. So because we're using app router, I just want to copy everything here, but make sure we have this file first. I'm going to copy that, go back to app folders, and I'm going to create that API folders, upload out folders, and inside that we have route.ts file. So here I just want to copy everything and paste that. So as you can see, for this comment, right, we can basically check if the user is logged in or has the necessary permissions. If the user is not authenticated, you can just return error message, right? If you're working with authentication, you can check in here. If user doesn't access, right, you can just return error, just simple as that. So user cannot be upload file if user not logged in, for example. Right. So the next thing is for the another comment. I just want to remove that. As you can see here, we can just put expire, the token, and etc. So basically, this function will allow us to make a GET request on the API/upload out, right? So this function also return response JSON that have token, expire, signature, public key. So the public key should become from the environment variable, which is from the ImageKit public key. Just make sure we have same name. Let's go back into environment variable. As you can see right here, we have ImageKit public key. Okay, great. And also for the private key, we need to send on the get upload out params. It's come from the process.env.ImageKit private key. Just make sure we have same name. Okay, great. Everything is fine. So now let's try to create the UI for the upload file. So let's scroll it down right here. And as you can see, this is the simple UI. I just want to copy that. And I'm going to put that on another component basically. So let's try to create folder called components. And inside that, I'm going to create file called image, or I just want to call this upload file, right? .tsx, just like this. And then I'm going to do RFC, change that to upload file, just like this. So let's try to render that right here. Okay, so basically this is the file input element using React Ref. So we need to create that on the top, the ref. Let me scroll up, and as you can see, this is basically the ref. So I just want to copy this state and also the use ref and paste that on the upload files like this. Of course, we need to upload use state and use ref. So let's try to change this component to the client component because we're using use state in this case. So let's try to change this component to use client. Okay, we get this error here. I'm not sure. Use state is call function upload file. That's either React function component. Oh yeah, we have to change this to uppercase U like this, upload file. Here we go. Now the error it should be gone. So now let's try to create the handle upload function. I just want to do empty function for now. Here we go. Let's try to import the upload file on the page. Here we go. I just want to paste that right here. Upload file, just import that. Here we go. Just remove the image and video. Let's take a look what we have. Here we go. This is the really simple UI. So let's try to make this a little bit better. You don't have to follow this, but I like to just make this a little bit better. For the input tag, I want to add class name right here, all right, with full padding 2, border gray, and even we can styling the file. As you can see, file border 0, file tag small, background gray 5D, and etc. So let's save, and here you go. This is the input element, right? It's look like this, really nice. And for this React fragment, instead of React fragment, I'm going to use a div tag like this. And oh, the div tag, it should be right here, I believe. Div just like that. And I want to add class name as well in here. I'm going to set the maximal width to XL, MX auto, and padding to 5. Here we go. Great. So let's just styling for this button. So in this button, I'm going to send a props called disable and also class name. And as you can see, we have the is uploading. Basically, this should be state. So let's go to on the top right here and let's create the state. So by default, is uploading, it should be false. Here we go. So we have the class name right here. If the is loading is true, it will change the background to gray. If false, the background should be 600, which is the blue color right here. Let's take a look. Here we go. And I just want to wrapping this input here with another div that have a margin bottom basically. So let's do div, put the input, and in this div I have class name margin bottom to I'm gonna call this 4. Save, and here we go, we have space. And also for the tags right here, instead of upload file, I like to use the condition in here. If the is uploading is true, I'm going to use uploading ... If not, I just want to use upload file. And as you can see now is upload file. If I change the is uploading to true, of course the UI will change, right? That's nice. And the other thing that we are going to change is basically the upload progress. So first what I'm going to do is let's check if the is uploading true, right? If the is uploading is true, basically I want to render this div with margin top 4, this div as well with full background gray and etc. with background blue, and it's basically the width that have the progress %, right? And this color right here. So let's try to save. Let's take a look what we have. If the is uploading is true, I'm going to change that to true. As you can see, now this basically the progress bar. I can change the progress bar here to 45, for example. As you can see, this is going to be look like. And another thing is basically the status of the upload is success or failed or error. So basically I'm going to add that state first on the top. So I'm going to create a state called upload status, and by default it's just empty string. So now let's add that condition in here under the progress bar. So in here, as you can see, if the upload status have a value, I want to render this div. So this div is really simple. If the upload status includes success, it will change the text color to green. If the upload status include failed or error, the text will becoming a red color. And by default, the color is gray 600. So let's try to change this upload status to success, for example. Save that. Let's go back, and as you can see, this is the success UI look like. If I do error, it's gonna be look like this, right? You don't have to follow this UI stuff, but I like to just give it to you how the real application look like. Alright, so now let's try to working with the handle upload function. So here, as you can see on the handle upload, we need to change the function to async function basically. So let's put async on this function. And then the first thing is we need to check if the file have a value or not. So as you can see, this is the way we check that. I just want to copy this one and paste that. As you can see, this basically will check the file input based on the ref. Because we put ref on this input, file input ref, of course, we can call this right here, right? Input ref.current. And in here we can access if the file input doesn't have value or doesn't have file or the file is 0, it will alert please select a file to upload. Just simple as that. And then down here, what we're going to do next is we need to extract the file. We can access that on the file input.files and the first value on array. So I just want to copy this one right here. Right, just copy that and just paste that. All right, so the next thing is we need to run try and catch. So I just want to copy everything in here, copy that and just paste. I hope you're not confused. So let's try to take a look what this code. So the first is we get the file, right? And then we retrieve authentication parameter for the upload. So basically, we are going to run the authenticator function on this try. So where is the authenticator function? We don't have yet. So let's try to see on the top. This is basically the authenticator function. So we can just copy that and then paste that on the top right here. Here we go. So let's try to see. I just want to remove all the comment. So let's try to see. This function is basically a async function that will make a GET request on the /API/upload out that we already create, right? And then if the response is not okay or something wrong happened, just return this through an error. And else, if the response is okay, that means everything is fine on this API/upload out, we get the signature, expire, token, and public key, and just return that. Just that's it. If something wrong happened, the cat is running and just throw this error. And this authenticator is running on this try right here inside the handle upload. And in here, if the something wrong happened with this authenticator, just console log this error. And then we can get the signature, expire, token, public key from the out param, which is from the authenticator. And then finally, we make a try and catch to upload the image. This is basically the upload image happen. So let's try to see. This basically create variable called upload response. And then we wait for the upload function done in here, right? This upload is basically send the expire, token, signatures come from the out params. And the file, right? The file, it should be come from this file input, come from the input ref. And then in here, we put the file name. This is basically just optional. I just want to remove this comment. And another thing is on progress. This basically will take care of the value inside the set progress state, okay? And then finally, we put the abort signal if the user cancel the upload. So the abort controller, it should be, I believe it should be on the top right here, right? We need to just copy that and then paste that to the very top right here. I just want to paste that just like this, and it will use that on this upload function right here. So for this comment, I just want to remove that. And as you can see, finally, this is basically the upload response. For now, just console log that. And inside the upload response, we will get the URL, the file name, and etc. We will see that on the console from the browser. And finally, down here, it's just everything error things. As you can see, there's a lot of checking right here. So the first thing is we need to import the ImageKit abort error, the ImageKit invalid request error, the network error, the server error. Okay, just for the error things, just make sure we import everything on the top. Okay, so finally, what we are gonna do now is I just want to check the is uploading right here. So where we need to run the set is uploading to true. So basically inside the, let me see. So before any try and catch, basically I like to set my set is uploading to true, set progress to 0, and set upload status to authenticating, because what happened is in this try and catch, we make a authenticator, right? So that's why in here I put the set upload status to authenticating. And if the authenticator in here is return an error, what I'm gonna do is let's try to set the upload status to authenticator failed, and also the set is uploading to false, right? And again, in this try and catch, when we upload an image, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the upload status into uploading, because in here is basically the upload happened. So that's why in here I'm gonna set the upload status to uploading, and then after that the await upload is running. And then finally, if the upload is done or successful, in here what I'm gonna do is set the upload status into upload completed successfully, just like that. And then after try and catch, I like to run the finally, and the finally set uploading back to false. Okay, great. So everything is set up. So let's try to upload an image. So here I just want to refresh to make sure everything is clean and up to date. So let's try to choose file, and I just want to select this keyboard image. I'm gonna click open. As you can see, this have the name of the file, which is keyboard image. And then let's try to click upload file. If I click that, as you can see, we have the progress bar. That's beautiful. We have uploading right there, and finally upload completed successfully. If I see on the, let me go to console right here, and hopefully we see that right here, right, upload response, and then we have this object, and as you can see, this is basically the file. And we have the URL, the file path, file type, height, name, size, and etc. If I go back to dashboard of the image kit, as you can see, if I refresh, now we should see the new image will appear in this dashboard. That's beautiful. That's how we upload the image. So the next thing is we need to render the image on the browser, because as you can see in here, we just put the upload response into the console. So now let's try to put that upload response right here into the state, and then we can use that on the right here, right? We can render that right here. So first, I just want to create state called upload image. As you can see right here, the type of the uploaded image is basically upload response. Should become from the ImageKit/next, and then we need to run the set uploaded image into the when the image is received, right? Which is right here. So let's run it. Set upload image into the upload response, just like this. So now I can just comment this console log. We don't need that. And of course, after the upload is successful, we have the value on the upload image, right? So now let's try to add condition on the bottom right here after we show the upload status. And then down here, I also want to check if the uploaded image have a value. So in here, I just want to paste this really simple condition. As you can see, if the uploaded image have a value, it will render this div that have this heading 3 uploaded image, and this div right here with border and etc. As you can see right here, we render image. This image is basically component from the ImageKit/next. And then inside that, we have the URL endpoint. This is basically what I show you on the first video, right? And the source is basically come from the file path from the uploaded image, right? So let's try to save that, and then let's try to upload another image. I'm gonna click this choice file, and then I'm gonna click this image right here. This basically come from the Unsplash. And then I'm going to click open and then upload file. As you can see, uploading and 100%, and finally done. As you can see, upload it completed successfully, and we have that beautiful image right here. That's beautiful. So the another thing that I'm going to show you is how we can add overlays on image. So for example, in this documentation, I'm going to show you how we can add image over image. So for example, we can put like a logo or watermark or whatever as an image. We can put that image into another image right here, right? And we can put the position to whatever you want. You can put it on the top, on the bottom, whatever you want. We are going to learn that on this video. And even you can change the background and etc. So let's try to just make sure that we get the image right here that's always visible. So we can just play around with the parameter of the image URL. So let's try to go back in here, and for the upload image here, I just want to set that to true just to make sure this is always be visible on the browser. And for the source, I'm going to create source right here. Just comment the first source. And then for the name as well, I just want to comment that. So for the source right here, I'm going to get that from the dashboard, and this is basically the name of the file, right? I just want to copy that because the file is going to be on the root. So we can just put a / and then the name of the file, just that's it. So now we have that file, right? The image is rendered. Great. So now let's try to put another image over this image. So the way we do that is first I'm going to upload another image like a logo or something like that. So let's try to click new and file upload my device, and then I'm going to click this ImageKit right here, click open, and then upload file. And as you can see, this ImageKit is successfully uploaded to my dashboard. Great. So how we can add overlay on image? So let's go back to the documentation right here. The first thing is we need to add tr, right? /tr. After the URL endpoint, we need to put /tr : and then l-image. So just make sure the file path it should be always in the end of the URL. So let's try. So here I'm going to do / and then tr : right? /tr : and then l-image like this. And then make sure we put l-n in the end. So I'm going to say comma ln right here. So this is basically the starting for the parameter. This is basically the end, right? And we are going to use l-image for a layer image basically. So let's try to put the logo. So the logo that we are going to use is, let me take a look right here, imagekit.png. So I can copy the name of the file and then just put that right here. So basically I can say I dash that file name imagekit.png because the file here is on the root, so we can just put it like this. So just make sure we put comma as well in here. So let's try to save and let's take a look what we have. Here I just want to refresh, and as you can see, the ImageKit.io will render on the image in the center of the image, right? That's the default position basically. We can also change the height and width for this overlay image. Let me go back to documentation. As you can see right here, for the height, we can use bh _ divided by _. You can give any name, any value you want in here. You can put 2, 3, and etc. And also for the width, we can use iw _ divided by 2 or whatever value you want. Let me show you right here. So for the height, what I'm going to do, you have to putting that before l_n basically. So in here, I'm going to say for the height, right? I'm going to say height dash base height _ divided by, I'm going to put this 2, right? So the base height will be divided by 2. And also for the width, I'm going to say width dash input width, right? And then here I'm going to divide it by 2 as well, just like this. Just make sure you put a comma as well in here, right? This is basically the height and width. Let's try to save that and let's take a look what the result look like. The result is going to be look like this because we have to put a responsive thing right here. So the way we're putting that is we are going to use gm dash path _ resize. Okay, so you have to put comma, and then let's try to save that. Let's take a look. Let me refresh that. As you can see, this is the ImageKit.io. It's really small right now. And I like to putting that on right here, for example, on the top, right? So we can change the position. Let me show you on the top right here. We can use right here, okay? LX to 35, for example. So let's try to putting that. Just make sure you're putting that before the LN. So here I'm gonna say L dash, for example, 100, comma, L, right? LX, great. LX dash 100. So let's try to save that. And here we go. This is the result, right? So I can put 35 and it's going to be right here, I believe. So now let's try to add background. So here I'm going to put, for example, background yellow. Let's do bg dash yellow and then comma. Let's take a look what we have. Let me see. All right, this is the image look like. As you can see, the height is a really long height. So I think I'm going to divide the height by maybe 6 to make it small. Let's try to see. It's take a time. And here we go, right? Or I can do, for example, 8. Let me see. Here we go. It's more better. So let's try to remove the background. And here we go. So we have the ImageKit.io on the top left right here. That's beautiful. So not only image, we can also put a text overlay, for example. So let's try to go back in here and I just want to comment this URL, this source, right? And then create another source. I just want to comment this one. So to add text overlay, we can use alt text basically. Instead of alt image, we can use alt text. So in here, I just want to remove everything. Just make sure the ln, you're not going to be remove that because you have to put ln right here. So in here, what we're going to do is I'm going to say for the text is, I'm going to say I dash, for example, I'm going to say hello and then comma. So let's try to see. So I'm not really seeing the text hello, but if I zoom in, as you can see, this is basically the hello. It's really small. So I think the problem is because this image is too large. So that's why in here we need to change the font size. So we can put FS to make it like a 200, right? For 200 pixel font size. I'm going to save that and here we go. This is the result, right? And even we can make it bigger, 300 for example. And here we go, right? That's more bigger. So this is basically the text. And then of course we can also put another right here. So we can put space, right? The space is should be used %20. So we can put like hello %20 and then word. The %20 will be coming space. Let's try to see hello and then space word. Okay, great. I'm going to change the background of the text. So in here before ln, just make sure you put that before ln and after the R right here, but you can put whatever you want. I'm gonna put that in here, for example. So the background, I'm gonna change that to background dash white. Let's try to see what we have. Now we should see the background white like so. And also we can put padding, for example. So let's put P, and then the padding, I'm gonna say PA dash 10 for 10 pixel. Save that and let's take a look. We will see the padding right here. But I think 10 pixel is not really a fact because the image is too large. So I'm going to put the padding to, for example, 100 pixel. Let's try to see what happened. As you can see, this is the result. And then I can put the text to, if you want to change the text, you can use GO basically. GO for the text color. I'm going to change that to red if you want, or blue or black, whatever you want. As you can see, if I do red, the text will be coming red right now. If you want to make this black, you can just put black, just like this. And here we go. All right, that's how we put a text overlay. So another thing that I'm going to show you is how we can add overlay on video. So we can do that basically. So first, I just want to make sure that this image, it should be have like a comment right here. I'm going to say this is basically add image over image. And for another one, it's going to be add text over image. So when I post that code on the GitHub, you can just learn from here, right? So now I just want to comment this image. And instead of using image, now I'm going to use a video, right? So let's use video tag, and then I just want to take a look on right here and how we can video component, how we can render a video. So we can use this one right here. I'm gonna copy that and then just paste that like so. Right, just make sure you import the video component, and then the URL endpoint, it should be come from this one right here. Just copy that and paste that like so. And for the video, I just want to use the sample video from the media library right here, right? This one right here, sample dash video. So let's do sample dash video, just like this. Save that, and now the video will be rendered. Great. I'm not sure why the width is not 100%, so I'm gonna say class name. I think this one right here. I'm gonna copy that class name, paste that, and let's take a look what we have. As you can see, now the width is 100%. That's pretty nice. So how we can add the image overlay? Let's go back to documentation and go to this video transformation, go to add overlay on video. So the first thing is I want to show you how we can add image over video. So the way we do that is, as you can see, pretty simple. After the file path, we need to put a question mark and then tr set equals to and etc. So I'm going to click this one right here. Okay, I just want to copy these parameters, right? Copy that. Go back to this video right here and I'll put that like so. So tr set equals to l image, and this is basically the name of the file. Logo. I'm gonna go back to my media library, and this is basically my image for logo. I'm gonna copy this image kit.png and put that right here. All right. I'm gonna put that e-imagekit.png, and this is basically the ln. Okay, so let's try to see what we have. I'm gonna go back in here, and hopefully now the image will be rendered on the center. And here we go. So I think it's take a time to render that image on the video. As you can see, this is the image really big. Can I make it a little bit small? Let's try to see what we have in here. I'm gonna scroll down, and this basically we can put the position. You're gonna back on that letter, but for now I want to make it small. So the way we make it small is, let me see right here, the width, right? We can put width right here and whatever the value you want. So in this case, it's 100. So I'm going to put that in here. So before ln, I'm going to put width to 100 pixel. Let's try to see. And as you can see, now the image is smaller. ImageKit.io is going to be on the center and the image is small. Great. So I like to put it that on right here, for example. So let's try to go back to documentation and see how we can change the position. Right here, we can put LX 100 pixel, LY 200 pixel, for example. So let's just try to click this one right here. And for that parameter, I just want to copy that LX 100, LY to 200. Copy that and just paste that inside LN right here. Okay. So as you can see, the L-axis should be, I think, left X, which is horizontal to 100 pixel on the right side, and LY is basically vertical, I believe, and it's 200 pixel as well. So let's try to save that, and let's take a look what we have. I'm gonna refresh that. So now as you can see, the logo is gonna be 100 pixel from the left and 200 pixel from the top. I like to putting this maybe 20 pixels, so the logo will be something like this from here, I believe. So now as you can see, the image is right here, right? That's beautiful. I can also change the LX right here to, for example, 80 pixel. And for example, the I believe the width, I'm going to change that to 200 to make it a little bit bigger. All right, so that's basically for the image over video. So let's try to see another option in here. We can use a text over video. I'm going to click that. And as you can see, the way we do that is also pretty simple. This one right here, I'm going to click that. And then let's try to go back in here. And for the source, I just want to copy and paste that. For the first one, I just want to comment that this is basically for the image overlay, and down here is going to be for the text overlay. Okay, so for the text overlay, I just want to copy everything in here for the parameters after question mark. Let's paste that from here, right? Tr set equals to l text for layer text, and then we have e hello for the text, I believe, and FS basically for the font size, and co-red is basically for the color of the text, hello right here, and then LN is always be there. Great. So let's take a look in here. Just want to refresh that, and hopefully we have hello text right now. I just want to save that, and let's try to see. As you can see, we have hello. That's beautiful. So let's try to change the color of the text right here into, for example, black. I want to change that to black, and then I also want to add the background to white. Okay. Also, I think I'm going to add hello world. So I can say like %20 and then world like this. Let's try to save that. And as you can see, we have hello world. That's beautiful. Let's try to add padding, for example. So we can say comma and then PA for padding. I want to say 10 for 10 pixel. And here we go. We have 10 pixel hello world. And for example, you want to change the position. As you can see right here, we can use LX and LY basically. So let's try to use that in here. I'm going to say comma LX. I'm going to set that to maybe 50 pixel to the horizontal line. And then for the vertical, I'm going to say LY to, I'm going to say 50 as well. Let's try to save that, and let's take a look what we have. The text should be on, I think, right here, I believe. All right, great. As you can see, the text is going to be right here. That's pretty cool. I also can change the font size to 50 pixel, for example. Save that. So now, as you can see, the text overlay is going to be on the top left corner right here. Right, you can just play around with everything on the documentation right here. There's a lot of things that you can do. Even you can just show the overlay to where the second you need to show and where the second you need to hide that overlay basically. So there's a lot of things, right? Just go to documentation and you will find a lot of things right here. So I think that's it guys for this video. Hope you will learn a lot of things from this video, and thank you so much for watching. And also thank you so much for ImageKit for sponsoring this video. And yep, that's it guys. See you on the next one.